World Relief's Refugee Project is a one-day simulation experience where groups of youth or teams come here and are transformed into refugee families escaping for their lives.
Here is your mission: to escape to freedom. To do this, you will need to pass through 4 stations, and they are the United Nations, the Department of State, the Refugee Feeding Station, and the medical clinic.
Youth are grouped into families from Somalia, Afghanistan, Iraq, and Russia. Transformed by ethnic clothing, youth must memorize their biographies to pass a series of interviews located around the International District in Seattle.
We are refugees. Can I have a translation here? I am an artist, and I was arrested because they did not like my painting. Saddam did not like my work.
One of the highlights of the Refugee Project is actually having recently arrived refugees performing the interviews, and this happens at the Department of State interview, where refugees themselves are now interviewing American students.
Does any of your family members know what is the capital of Ukraine? Anybody know? At all? You know what? I don't want to waste my time. If you don't know the capital of your own country, I suggest you should leave.
Refugee Project gives young people the opportunity to experience some of the hardships and difficulties endured by refugees, victims of war, terror, and persecution.
Tell me why you're here today.
We're here because we had to leave Afghanistan because my husband's gone, he's dead, we don't really think he's dead. And we had to leave. We went to Pakistan, and we've been in Quetta in that refugee camp for 2.5 months.
During the medical clinic, each family group has to face the very common reality of disease. They have to make a decision as a family unit as to whether they will seek treatment or forego their food supply.
Because you're going into a refugee camp with thousands of people, you will probably get sick because there's so many, it's so overcrowded. And also you'll be malnourished, so you'll further decrease your chances of being able to fight sickness. Your immunity will be down. So you have to be very careful with what you eat.
We conclude the Refugee Project with a time of debriefing the experiences and the feelings that students have felt, especially as they've walked through the streets of the International District wearing ethnic clothing from cultures all over the world. And then we talk about what does it mean to students and how will this day make a difference in their lives when they go back to their schools.
Yeah, I was going to say, another thing that surprised me is that I thought it was actually kind of fun to walk around in all those clothes.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And did you have your hair covered?
Well, I just had this big old weird skirt on and a big belt. It was actually kind of cool, and I would have worn it.
Who enjoyed wearing the clothes?
Mine were hot.
Who said no? Thank you. And in first place, we have the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians have a total of 76.
We also have refugees tell their stories. They describe what it was like to come to Seattle, to learn to adapt, and they relate what type of welcome they received. Refugee Project shows us that we really have a lot in common with refugees. We experience fear, loneliness, isolation, and rejection. Refugee Project participants see what it's like to be a newly arrived refugee here in Seattle, how hard it is to struggle with a strange culture and a new language. But above all, students who come through this project really see that there's not such a big gap between their world and the world of a refugee. It's a gap that can be easily bridged by friendship, acceptance, and understanding towards people who are different. If you would like to get in contact with World Relief and find out more about the Refugee Project, or book a time for your youth group or your group of students from your school, please call Sarah Scholl at 206-587-0234, extension 106.